Welcome to South Harmon. Welcome to South Harmon. Hey, welcome to South Harmon. We glad you here today. Another AMA. Ask me anything. Super chat is cool if you wanna pay to play. Like and subscribe, that's what we really appreciate. Let me introduce you to the tear down king. Mike McNutted, ask your questions, he'll answer anything. ATM, you know I don't put them graphics on the screen. Glad you tapped in now, stay tapped in for the team. Hey, everything is posted. Go follow the socials. South Harmon FF tag us if we get noticed. Welcome to South Harmon, we glad you here today. Welcome to South Harmon, we glad you here today. Another AMA. Welcome to South Harmon, we glad you here today.
What's up, everybody? Wednesday night AMA. We are live and in person.
Early. We are in person, and we're early super chatting, Mike. Matty Gomes, like, listen, whatever you guys have planned, just hold on, because I want to know in a 12 team with 12 starter best ball, 12-1, first in points, have my first. Want to gamble to push in finals for bigger player pool? Smart or no? How do you handle no trade deadline capital?
Well, if you're in first place and there's no trade deadline, Matty Gomes for $5. I'll be nice. Why the fuck are you looking to make a deal right now?
Yeah, because, well, you know, it's the funny thing is it's queued up perfectly with the thumb, Mike, because guess what could happen to you in the semis when you have to play? Because you have a bye, right, at 12-1. So this week, next week, actually, for all intents and purposes, don't fucking matter. However, what if one or two of your guys all of a sudden RIP, right? Now, well, I mean, you're right. Now,
gone. Your
now you know.
Jordan gone.
Now you at least can make a decision based on only 2 weeks or only 1 week left. Like, I mean, obviously, if there's a deal that comes your way that's way too good to pass up, I'm not going to tell you not to take it, but I would be probably waiting out a couple weeks unless something like that came across in my inbox.
Maddie and I talked about this on the 4D pod for today, right? Talked about it, dropped. So we talked about it last night when we recorded together. But if I'm at first place and there's no trade deadline, there's absolutely no fucking move I'm making right now unless it's just so absolutely fucking egregiously like in my favor. You know what I mean? Like,
right. Like if it's something where it's clearly a player that has some value insulation and is worth more than a first, like, okay, fine, go ahead. I mean, I'm not going to tell you not to do it, right?
Trade deadline being this week would be a much different story, right? This is your last fucking opportunity. You got to get a little risky. It sucks that you got to wait essentially 2 weeks to kind of see the fruits of your labor.
Right.
If there is no trade deadline, sit back, relax, man. Enjoy. Garth Brooks got that song. It's Spotify rap season, by the way.
I know.
Garth Brooks is not on Spotify. Unfortunately, I got to go to Amazon Music for that. But I've been listening to a lot of music on my drive to and from work, Adam, and Garth Brooks has been on the playlist. So, sit back and enjoy 2 pina coladas. Just enjoy yourself, man.
I like that.
You don't need to do nothing. Don't need to do nothing.
Well, I mean,
trade deadline. I'll see y'all in 2 weeks, and when I got to play, then we'll think about what I need to do to push some chips in.
Well, there's another piece of the pie here to discuss as well. If you have a league like this where there is no deadline, and what is that? Where in which you make the trade, which would be in 2 weeks, there will be an additional 2 teams that are not actually in contention. So you have another two players that are sellers, right?
Yeah.
And if you somehow
they probably got win now pieces on their roster, right? But they're about to get eliminated.
They definitely have some. I mean, they made the fucking playoffs. So, I mean, now how many, we'll see. But they have some.
They got a few, that they're probably like, 2025, fuck it. Like, I'm good, man. You give me a first for this dude, you can have him. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But, like, all of a sudden, after the first week, right, so going into your first game, the semis, 2 other teams that probably, with all there being, thought they were going to be in the semis are not going to be in the semis. And they're like, oh shit. Well, what about Christian McCaffrey? Would have been a good example, but he just already RIP. So something of the same ilk. I don't know, Aaron Jones, whoever it might be, anybody.
Yeah.
There's plenty of guys where you can get them now, and they're ready to go in this week. You also, if I would probably do it in the semis, Mike. That's when I'm looking to pull the trigger. But if somehow you ended up with it going into the championship, now everybody except one team is a seller.
See, here's a crazy thing too about best ball too. Like if I'm the first place team, 12-1, first in points, like I've roster constructed correctly. Like
you better have, right.
Right. Like I can withstand a couple injuries too, so the panic doesn't really need to set in. There is also a good opportunity, Adam, and you and I have been there, where it's inevitable that you and I are going to face off in the fucking finals, and we're on opposite sides of the bracket, and we get two fish, just like, oh man, you may be the third and fourth seed teams, but you about to learn today. Right? This is a different fucking level, right? Like a tune-up game. So in that
Uncle Mikey's here to teach you a lesson,
In that scenario too, knowing if I had a showdown with you or something like that coming up inevitably in the finals, I'm like, I still ain't making it in the semis. Like I'm gonna be a little bit more risky and go, fuck it, we good. I'm saving this for next week. I'm gonna roll it out like on Wednesday or Thursday just to piss Adam off. Like motherfucker.
No, for sure.
So yeah,
I mean, the one thing I was gonna say to keep in mind though is Mike, I think like a lot of times in the leagues you and I have played in where we're paying a lot of attention and we have a lot of stakes at it, a lot of those teams, if you look at them holistically, top to bottom, they're deeper, typically more well built, and a lot of the top end of the league might be. So this, I guess, would come down to Matty Gomes, where like your team truly stacks up best ball roster construction wise to the rest of the field. If you have a significant margin, if you've roster constructed correctly, where this 12-1 is legitimate, like just think about it this way: how much is one player probably going to even impact you in the semis realistically in that matchup, right? So yeah. I'm not telling you not to make the trade. I'm just saying think about it from all those lenses. And if you're not necessarily roster constructed all that much better than the rest of the league, maybe I'm looking for a 2-for-1, right? Maybe I'm looking for a 3-for-1 here before I can get into the semis to make sure I get in there. So that's kind of what I would be looking at, especially in a start 12. Mike, start 12 is no joke.
Fuck yeah. Good super chat. Thanks for the super chat, Matty Gomes. Sit back, relax, my friend. Sit back and relax for the next 2 weeks at least. In 2 weeks on AMA, come and drop another one. Come drop another, $5 one, and give us the offers then. Let's see what's up then.
Listen, that 5 at that point, and then going in the championship when you that's a total of $15. That's nothing compared to what you're going to be taking away.
Yeah,
nothing.
You'll be fine.
Well, Mike,
Adam, let's get to the
Matty Gomes. I was going to say we got at least, Mike. It's only 99 cents. I'm not going to only it, but Jake.
Oh, we got another one. Jesus.
I'm not sure if he's from State Farm, but Jake says he hit us with a bunch. So he's like, listen, actually, to get these guys to answer them, let me super chat this. All right. So big fan of the program, 9 p.m. Club. What's going on, Jake? Appreciate you being here. Glad you're here today, as Fizzle will tell us. 12-team start 10, Superflex, 1.5 tight end premium. Herbert, K1, Bryce, Benson, Neighbors. Benson? Really? That's your – hold up.
That's what he leads off with?
Well, that's the only running back I'm guessing, right? Like it's literally that. Neighbors, Ladd, Higgins, Waddle, Pershaw. Nice. Kraft. Okay. I'm looking for the question. All moves made before the deadline, and yes, I asked why we have a deadline. Also locked up the 101 this year. Future moves. Help me get better, please. I got Spears for Wicks. Got Jerome Ford for a 26th third. Got CMC plus a third for a late second and another second of his own. Plus all 25 picks late first. So, Mike, what do you think here? Future moves, just kind of like holistically, I think is the question's a little more in general.
Fine. I'll touch on this, though. I'm assuming by the initial part, you're not making the playoffs and not winning with only Trey Benson.
If you have only Benson in any league, there's just no way. There's just no way.
You do it, shit. Here's the first problem that I have, Jake, is if I'm not in it, I'm not investing capital in running backs at all. Like, just not. I'm not carrying the risk. CMC, like people will be like, well, you sent CMC in a third and it was only a late second. This motherfucker's career could be over. Like there's a less than zero chance that's a real thing. Like we see these dudes just gone, right? Once upon a time, Leonard Fournette's coming off a Super Bowl and being named Lombardi Letty. And now like he's maybe making a practice squad somewhere. And the dude is what, 28, 29? Like fuck me. Right? Like this,
it's over.
This shit happens. Like it just happens. It just happens. So Spears, there's bound to be somebody in here who's a Spears fan is gonna hate this. He sucked. Like he's done fucking nothing. I had somebody offer me a trade today, like with Spears in it for like Mac Jones. You know, like I'm a rebuilding team, Adam. Mac Jones means fuck all to me. But no. I'm not lying to you.
You said no.
I'd rather have fucking Mac Jones on my team than Tajay Spears. Like I'd rather would.
That poor soul. That poor soul's like, all right, I'm at this point. Like this is what I have to do, just to get a kick in the nuts. No, we're not doing it. That's right, crazy.
Like I'm fucking good. I'm good, man. I'm good.
I'll keep Mac. All right. That's crazy.
I mean, none of these are super detrimental. They're really not. So I just say that's me nitpicking. If I'm rebuilding, fuck it, I'm not touching the running back position. I just don't give a shit, especially with this class and Jesus, Dane Brugler's mock today, Caleb Johnson in the first fucking round of the Chargers. You want to talk about boner patrol? Like, jeez, I was hard all day, just rock hard, just fucking strong like bull. But like this kind of draft capital ends up turning in not necessarily to Caleb Johnson, but it's going to turn into another fucking running back where you're going to be like, shit, I rather would have had that second. You know what I mean? CMC still not healthy, or you know, whatever. He's talking about retirement or whatever the fuck the deal is, right? There's a lot of stuff that could happen. So,
I mean, yeah, even if CMC plays, like, how many more games is he going to play? He was supposed to be healthy week 1 this year, Mike. Right.
He
played
just pump the
3
brakes
weeks
on the RB acquiring. I would have held on to the draft picks. So my advice going forward: don't fucking touch another draft pick you have. Don't fucking send another one you have. Not a single fucking one you have. Hold them like diamonds. And if you want to trade them in February, March, April, by all means. But that's when they're going to be worth the most. When Adam and I are on here, as long as every other fucking Dynasty focused podcast out there, every other fucking YouTube channel that covers fantasy football is going to be talking about nothing but fucking rookies ad nauseum.
Well,
the Dynasty
in this class,
market goes to the fucking roof on picks. It just does.
Yeah, and this class in particular, as Mike already alluded to, has a running back class that, like, from what we know today, going to be at least have some depth. I'll say the other thing, the CMC trade could end up working out fine for you. I think the main thing, though, is with this build is, like, CMC is a flip piece now. Like, what's done is done. Like, we will fix, besides the damage to the boat, which we will fix, you got to move CMC at the right time, and this will pay off. But the problem is CMC as an asset, right, in this build, really isn't going to get a bump in value for a fair amount of time, where the picks will. So that's kind of more the point of, I guess to Mike's point, like that's why, even though it seems super cheap, I like to have the picks that are more flexible, and I like to have what I know is going to be more valuable soon, which is those picks. So, I mean, you're still fine. They're not; these aren't super risky moves. I think in general, if you can acquire more picks, though, like that's the way I like to go, even if they're seconds and thirds. Because let's get to the thumbnail, Mike. Where'd you get Guerendo in this draft?
4th round, 5th round, pre-NFL rookie draft.
I mean, yeah, we were getting them. Even after the draft, or after the NFL draft, it was what, 4th? Like, it was 4th or 5th round, pretty much everywhere. I don't think I remember seeing him go in the 3rd. Maybe a couple times in one of ours where we were reaching, but
let's go back in a little time machine. It wasn't on anything South Harmon did, but you and I talking before the combine on Campus to Canton.
Yep.
Network. Canton bound. We were talking about prospects we were intrigued in.
Guerendo.
And I brought up one, Isaac Guerendo, for one reason. Motherfucker was projected to go out there and just be an elite athlete. Just blaze. And surprisingly, when you looked at his production, even though you go, wow, it took till his last year for him to actually really do anything of like super consequence.
Mm-hmm.
When he kind of peeled back the curtains and you went, oh shit, he was at Wisconsin stuck behind some fucking dope ass running backs.
Right.
The only thing that was questionable is last year when he was at Louisville, he was stuck behind Jawar
Jordan. Who the
hell
hell is that guy?
But when Guerendo got his opportunities, he went out and fucking produced. Now, his film wasn't the greatest, but you're like, damn, he's got some straight line speed. He goes to the one fucking offensive scheme where it's like they just shit dudes with straight line speed that just, Raheem Mostert made his name at that fucking place, right? Matt Breida made his name in that fucking scheme. Like these guys.
I mean, and look at dudes. And if you look at Miami, it's basically that's the same thing. So
right, so you take this 220-pound freak who runs a 4.3, and you're like, one cut and he could be gone. And what have we seen so far this year with him? When he gets playing time,
2 games he's gotten carries. Go back and watch if you don't know I believe it was the Seattle game. He had 10 carries. The first 9 were to be forgotten in a hurry. Like he did absolutely fucking nothing. He gets the last carry, Mike. Straight down the sideline. He ended up only not scoring a touchdown because he slid smartly. So he's one of these guys in this offense in particular that's Mason was awesome in the early part of the year, right? And you saw that he struggled handling the workload and staying healthy. But the difference between Mason and him is that Guerendo is going to be able to take basically any single run where there's a lane in that zone read offense where it boom, now all of a sudden gone. Mason probably is not going to be able to do that. Someone's going to get the angle on him. So the Guerendo at this point in the year without both of those guys is hella intriguing, at least. I'll say that. I'm not going to act like he's guaranteed to smash, but he is very intriguing.
Some people have said he has like top 5 upside, rest of the season. I don't know if I'm going to get that bullish, but I
mean, technically, sure, but that seems a little bit lofty, man. Like, you know what I mean?
I don't think it's ludicrous to say. I mean, Saquon's got a ridiculously easy end of season schedule. Derrick Henry, we know him, especially you get to this nice snow weather. Derrick Henry's a fucking load. Alvin Kamara is going to go out there and catch a shit ton of fucking passes. Bijan's still doing his thing. Jameer Gibbs is fucking awesome. Like, to say top 5, like, it sounds fun, right? And I'm not saying it's impossible. There's just a lot of other really good options, too, that kind of make it tough to, like,
the difference is this year, the difference is this year as opposed to other years is top 5 upside, I think, like, if you think about it most years, sure. Because you probably are down 5, 7, 8 of these running backs. Like right now, CMC is one of the only guys up top that went down. So you have all these guys playing. You have Barkley going up against Carolina this week. I mean, good night. You thought he could reset the record, guys. He could reset that bitch. Like,
do you want a little fun little nugget here that I found?
Sure.
I thought it was awesome. All right.
I always love him.
So 3 games this year, Guerendo has played more than 20% of the snaps.
I'm thinking of the main 2. Which was the other one?
So you're right. Seattle, he played 25% of the snaps. He scored 10 fantasy points.
It was the game before, and there was the game before the bye. I forget who they played.
He played Dallas. He played 61% of the snaps.
There you go, Dallas.
He scored 19.2 fantasy points on 61% of the snaps. And then last week versus Buffalo, 23.4% of the snaps, 8.6 fantasy points. So just some simple Iowa country math for me. Every time he plays 20% of the fucking snaps or more, he's scoring about 10 fantasy points. So if you think he goes out and he gets 80% of the snaps at him, that's 4 times.
The only
Isaac Guerendo's going to score 40 points a game for the rest of the season.
Just
of the snaps.
Listen, we've crunched the numbers, and that's just the way it works, right?
We did the math, right?
I will say the one thing that actually concerns me more than any of the other stuff with him is that, brother, this offense is starting to look about as broken can be. And
it'd be nice if somebody said that they had a really mid quarterback who thrives because the system was healthy and perfect for him. But I don't know anybody like that who would have pointed that out, years ago.
No, well, exactly. I don't know what that means even. There's a few things I want to get to here. CMC contender pivot. Let me just say I've seen.
First off, we got to get to the fact that Mr. Ryan McDowell's.
Well, I was gonna do that, but I feel like we had to answer. What's up, Ryan? Ryan McDowell says, "What's up, boys?"
We got a living legend in the chat.
Ryan, I mean, I'm sure we could figure out a way to move some things around and get you up here. If you want to come hang out with the
And
guys and the
unfortunately,
fellas.
also with Riot, I got knocked out of Scott Fishbowl this last week. Came like 30 points short. Just
My team's
this is what happens when you don't trust Brian Robinson, right? You're like, oh, I saw that ankle injury.
You didn't
I thought he was
trust Brian-
fucking
oh.
cooked. No, sitting on my bench. I had
that's tough.
I started Darius Davis. Like I got 2 cute.
No.
Like yeah.
That's
I did
that would be the definition of cute, probably.
And I had Calvin Austin in my lineup. And I was like, man, am I really about to start Calvin Austin over Tank Dell and Scott Fishbowl with all this on the line? I did. So fuck me. I deserve it.
So, that's tough. I'll just say, Simon, the one trade I've seen 1-for-1 for a pivot is Rico Dowdle. So I think you might be shooting a little too high here.
I would say if you could on a contender, if you can get Pollard, Najee, Ramondre straight the fuck up,
like there's basically there's no reason to say no to those.
Say thank you. Yeah, the Rico Dowdle, that's the best you've seen. Let's see what the lab.
No, I'm
is.
saying 1-for-1, just running back for running back. Like this is the contender pivot. Rico, that's the one I've seen. Like because all the other ones, Mike, are basically like, you got to pivot to a receiver or you got to go tight end or picks or something.
I got to see if the lab has anything.
I'm sure there's other ones. I'm just telling you the only one I've actually seen go down.
Oh man.
By the way, oh wow, there is some yikes. Are you kidding?
I got a McCaffrey in a third for Najee in a second. Done today.
That's wow. Well, there you go. I mean, I will say like Najee probably feels gross, but that's easy.
McCaffrey for B-Rob.
That's too
McCaffrey
easy.
For Pacheco.
What?
McCaffrey for Pollard, Jordan Mims, and a 25 first. Who the fuck is out here sending that one? Holy shit.
Brother.
Oh, by the way, Koopa got that.
We're trying
Koopa in here sneakily. I don't know if I saw this on the fucking trade show channel, but Tony Pollard. Who the fuck's Jordan Mims? Is that like third string running back for the Saints? Is that who that is?
Sorry, who was that?
Jordan Mims. You know him? Not Marvin.
Yeah. No, I know the name, but I don't.
I think he plays for the Saints, man.
It rings a bell. It just doesn't really probably matter. So.
Right, well, cool. Cool, Jordan Mims. Christian McCaffrey.
You are correct on that, by the way.
Jordan Mims, then a first. Koopa
there's no way. Okay, first and foremost, there's no way in most of the leagues we're playing in. Like, I don't even know if a first is getting done, Mike, let alone
Christian McCaffrey
accompanying pieces.
Bucky Irving, straight up. McCaffrey for A. Rich in a Super Flex League. McCaffrey for Rashee Rice.
I just don't trust human beings. Rashee Rice is at least hurt.
Oh man! All right, that's all.
There's
the
just
ones.
what the
fuck is going on?
let's just assume that those aren't there because I would make these pivots 1-for-1 without thinking. So I guess if there's anywhere where you get a plus or something higher, I mean, you get my stamp. You'll get our stamp of approval, but
Simon might need to try higher. Pollard.
All right,
first, like that's where you start.
Listen, Christmas isn't here yet, guys. I'm sorry. No, stop it. Just
Mixon was a great swap with CMC healthy. Like before he went down, that was awesome swap.
What is happening in real life? Is this real life? There's just
holy shit.
Oh my god.
Wow. You know who would be a good pivot, Adam? Saquon Barkley. You just see if you get that done.
Maybe. I think you might be able to ask for something else, even if it's small, like Rico Dowdle maybe too. Like, how about Izzy? Speaking of, maybe you get Izzy thrown in there. Does Izzy have any value?
I don't. You and I both like his talent.
Can I tell you the truth? I think he's like Guerendo less. I think he has the same type of profile. He's a bigger, stronger back that can hit a home run speed. So, I mean, in the war of attrition, if he was to get run, I wouldn't be shocked. You just need Guerendo to go down. So, does he have value? He's just a cuff.
He's never gotten any real run. He has 22 career rush attempts.
The Jets, though, all right, I will say this: the Jets are absolutely off their rocker with how many of the same style and type of backs they drafted the last 3 years. They drafted, Now, I'm not going to act like that's a good thing for Izzy. Obviously, he couldn't beat out any of these other guys to get any run at all. But Braylon Allen this year, the same year they drafted Isaiah Davis, who we saw play some. Like they're drafting like 3 running backs a year. So Izzy was also extremely young, I believe. He's like 20 coming out. So none of these things are good for him. But they're points to make that they obviously liked him enough to practice squad steal. So I think
he's 22.
22 now, right? He was 20 coming out.
Right
he's young,
now.
Man.
He's a young dude.
Mm-hmm.
One time in his career, he's had a reasonable snap share, 37.9%. He gave you 3.9 fantasy points. They gave him 4 carries.
Here's what I'll make the same point, though. Guerendo only got any run because CMC got hurt and then Jordan Mason got hurt, right?
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't be shocked to see Izzy have touches again, but he's not going to get any touches until these guys get hurt. So his value is now like he's closer to getting reps, maybe. That's what his value is. Like he's closer to getting snaps, but he's still not doing shit for you. Like,
did they have anybody else on their fucking roster?
Yeah, they had
This is where I need Eric. This is
Eric had
deep dive. Is like
they did have one.
Because they just fucking lost.
I was just looking at it today too.
Patrick Taylor.
Patrick Taylor. Thank you. I saw him.
Yeah. Okay. We know what he is.
Yep.
Is he not getting playing time for Patrick Taylor would be the ultimate litmus test of what
he's not going to probably right now, because right now you kind of have. I feel like it's a Guerendo replacement. Right now you have Guerendo who still is earning the Shanahan trust, which is a very fickle thing early on in your career if you don't know. So you have that whole dynamic, and then Patrick Taylor is the vet that he likes and trusts and knows he can rely on. So
about like 4 years ago, Patrick Taylor was interesting. He was the Isaac Guerendo of Patrick Taylor's.
I mean, dude, I will not. People don't feel like he's interesting at cost. Oh, free, which he's been. He's interesting to me. He's pretty interesting,
For years. All right, Patrick.
I loved Izzy in college too, but that's the last time we've ever seen him play. So sorry.
So all right, tie everything back in with Guerendo, where we're at. I think you and I both think he's very interesting. We do have some concerns. Obviously, I'm not going top 5 upside, but is somebody as a contender I think I'm interested in. How much do you want to pay? How much do you want to pay for Isaac Guerendo? Like, what's your comfortability level right now with buying into Guerendo?
I mean, not high, not anywhere near probably what market is, honestly. Like, and I'm somebody that has a lot of shares and has liked the guy this whole time, but I don't know, Mike, a late second maybe at like.
Okay. I think that's a fair spot.
I feel like that's probably not getting done for most people, because most people are like, oh, this is my chance to completely gape somebody. And I mean, I've gotten questions. I've seen literally, Mike, between DMs, Discords, right here, like for a first. No, God, no.
That amount of uncertainty, I'm with you. I'm not paying a first.
You'd have to tell me, Mike, for him to be a first, okay, for that to come to fruition, it's got to be no deadline. If this is for me, I'm not telling you, you can do whatever you want, obviously. No deadline. We see the run and the reps the next 2 weeks, and I know that he's going to be the guy in those final 2 weeks of the playoffs, and I'm like, all right, this is a piece that might actually win me a title. Now I'll do it. But like today, we still have yet to see really like a game where they've planned to go in with Guerendo as the guy or the quote-unquote guy and actually see what that looks like. That's my problem with paying even close to a first is, like, I get it, but this is still too much wish casting at a level as well, right?
So I think we're pretty lockstep on this one. Like a late second is probably the ceiling that I'm comfortable. And I'll toss in something.
Sure.
Something.
If you told me like push come to shove, I have a 206 or 208, and you're really bullish, like. I probably wouldn't do that, but I can understand going to that level. Like these early seconds, I'm probably just out.
I would say in lineup leagues, let me preface this by saying in lineup leagues for this, Adam, because I'm going to ask you some 1-for-1s. Mm-hmm. Lineup leagues. your answer might be more of a yes than it is in best ball leagues, just because of how we roster construct. But you're a rebuilder. Let's flip to the rebuilder side. Would you take Adonai Mitchell for your Guerendo?
No, just because Adonai Mitchell's feeling pretty untasty.
If it was best ball, would it be different for you? Because let me explain to the people too what I'm really trying to get at for Adam and I too is that lineup versus best ball. Most lineup formats, Adonai Mitchell or Jalen Polk or like these type of wide receivers who really haven't, the Marvin Mims of the world, who really haven't done much to this point in their careers. Like I know Mims just had the long touchdown, which was nice, but like these kind of wide receivers, they tend to be more of that dirty word roster cloggers, where they're guys that we're probably never going to start. Like that's not how we roster. In best ball, they're more appealing because I don't have to worry about when I start these fucking guys, right? Like they just, hey, look, Mims caught a 70-yard touchdown. Awesome. In my lineup. What's up? In a lineup league, I'm not fucking ever really going like, you know who I really want to start this week? Marvin Mims. But this is kind of where Adonai Mitchell and Jalen Polk are trending in their rookie years. So, Adam, I say in the lineup league, would you accept one of those type of wide receivers for your Guerendo, or are you just going to hold Guerendo?
I'll still hold, and I'm going to tell you the reason why is because honestly, those are fine pivots if you wanted to make them, and I think just from a process standpoint, I 100% get why you would do it. It kind of makes sense. The reason I'm going to hold on is because I was just kind of thinking about the situation moving forward, right? We're at the point where you and I are talking about, and I mean, we're not the only ones. CMC, his like outlook on his career, he might be cooked. Like even if he comes back, let's say he's not. This isn't a career or a season-ending injury, right? He's got a sprain, but he comes back next year. How healthy is he going to be? He's getting older. How much is he going to play then? Does he have more, things like his Achilles bothering him? Like there's all that going on, and the fact that they extended him, and the fact that Mason is basically, probably not going to be brought back at this point. Like I can't imagine unless they can get a really cheap deal done with him. So there's an opportunity where Guerendo going into next year, from a viewpoint, right, in Dynasty, if he's has a chance to be the guy or just the only guy behind CMC, I could still flip that for more than a lot of these receivers. And there's a market with that appeal of like, oh shit, this could end up being the guy in Shanahan's offense.
That is a very good point, right? Jerome Ford from this year, not Jerome Ford now, but Jerome Ford had that nice run last year.
Going into this year, right?
And Fizz, cover your ears. There was people who thought he was going to be a top 10 running back this year.
You know what really sucks though about this is if you look at the Browns season as like, I bet you Ford, if this was with Jameis in this offense, he might have been what people thought. But guess what? The frickin' Watson offense led was just so woaded, dude. It was so bad, Mike. It was so bad.
You know what I heard, speaking of that, on the Browns thing, watching the broadcast, right? Mm-hmm. Where they're talking about Winston signed with the Browns because he wanted to play in the system that they ran. He really liked the system, that kind of thing. Yeah. And then since Watson got hurt, they have changed their system to what it is now and the success that they're having, right? They've changed. And I'm thinking to myself while Ken Dorsey's out here getting jerked off about how well he's doing, and Jameis is throwing for 460, and Judy's fucking 300 yards receiving. Like they're out there running up and down the field, and it looks a lot like they did at the end of last year when they let Joe Flacco go out there and cook. Do they really just fucking hate Deshaun Watson? Because why wouldn't you run this same kind of thing with him?
Well, what's crazy?
Is it two different fucking systems. What the fuck's going on here?
No, Mike, it's this was them catering and having to do things the way in which the fully guaranteed contract guy wanted and has to play. And what's crazy though, what you just said? Think about Watson now with 2 years in a row out of the lineup, backup journeyman. I mean, say what you want, Jameis Winston, backup journeyman,
cooking,
have gotten the Browns record for Amari Cooper of 255, and then Jerry Jeudy, who has been, dismissed by a lot of people in Dynasty, Steve Smith's epic rant, like that guy's going for damn near the record the next year. So late in the season, Mike, where the weather, I mean, it's I got no words. I just this is the football that I have to watch weekly and root for. You know, it's tough.
Let me ask for a friend, rebuilder, basketball league. Would you sell Guerendo for 2/3?
I mean, best ball league, is it the pre-NFL draft?
No.
I don't hate it. I just, again, I feel like the reason I would hold a little bit more, a little tighter than I would normally would for other players is because of what I just mentioned there with the opportunity he has in front of him here, right? And then looking at potential going into next year. Oh, man. That's just what – the difference between him and Mason is, like, you see a guy like Guerendo have 1, 2, 3 runs. People in Dynasty are going to fiend. Mike, I'm talking about where those thirds are fine, right? But, like, I guess here's the thing. If he doesn't take that role on, you can probably still get a single third for him. If he does take that role on, you're going to a place that you just shouldn't go to, early seconds. Maybe you mess around before the draft hype really kicks in. It's like a late first in this class. You're like, okay, like that. To me, that's the risk that I'm willing to take on, right, with a guy like this.
I'm with you. So I tell that friend who made that trade last night while they were drinking, you're a fucking idiot, and they probably have buyer's remorse as of today. That friend is me. That friend is me. I don't. Up.
Well, okay. Sure, but here's the thing. One, it doesn't have to work out that way. And two, I know you had a lot of shares.
Late too. They're both guaranteed late.
Yeah.
It's like
crazy thing even process-wise is all you have to do is hit one of those thirds and you'll be just fine.
I got faith in myself. I pulled this
is the thing about this, too. It's, he easily could. Listen, you got Olivia at home. You got a fresh little extension here. Come on, guys. Come on.
Man said Olivia. And I was like, derailed.
You had me at O.
You had me at O. Is this something about women named Olivia? Right? I think one that's down in LSU, you know, she's aight. You know what I mean?
Dear God. See, these are the things. This is why. What's worse, the hangover or the trade remorse?
Trade remorse.
Same.
I could deal with
different. But still same.
I can deal with the hangover.
Oh, Mike, I've dealt with both, frankly. This is I've had plenty of the hangover and the trade remorse. On this topic though. Go ahead.
On this topic, I just typed into Google just Olivia and just fucking Olivia Dunn, Olivia Wilde, Olivia Munn. I mean, just
Mike's
this is like
Mike's shocked to know that
this
is a common name.
Brooks'
you know,
greatest fucking hits. You know what I mean?
There you go.
just banger after banger.
Here we go. Matty Gomes has a since he's super chatted only, I will give you. Must pick one.
You know what? I'm gonna go with option 3 because I just read the story about it today. Right, a little fun trivia fact for you too, Adam. I saw this shit. The top earning OnlyFans model, or Saquon Barkley, Travis Kelce, Garrett Wilson, and Derrick Henry's salaries combined. Who made more money this year?
Obviously, the one. This is a shallow lineup league. Give me the one piece. You know, the hammer, if you will.
Shout out Sophia Raids, whatever the fuck, Sophia. Either way, $43.5 million on OnlyFans this year. Just legend. Fucking legend. I could show my butthole on camera and I couldn't get $400 for that.
I think there's a negative detractor there. Like, people would pay to keep it away, you know? Like,
No.
Like, no, listen, you listen, I'll give you, if you don't do that to me, I'll be fine, you know?
Man, and shout out to her fucking, you know, her team too, right? Because I'm like, damn, you got an OnlyFans model out here making $43.5 million. Kind of like streaming sports and pay-per-view events. I'm like, there's got to be some like OnlyFans leaks of it. None. I scoured the fucking internet for far too long today. None. Zip. I mean, they have scrubbed this motherfucker clean.
Oh yeah.
Like, If I ever commit a murder,
tightened up real good.
I want that team. I want that team in my house because there will be no trace of evidence.
The problem is, Mike, that team's obviously well paid. As you know, with the salary. What I was going to say,
$43.5 million in a year. Yeah, they better be fucking well paid.
Well, I mean, I don't think they get all of that, but
if
they
you
get
need
some.
somebody else, I'm in. You know what I mean?
Let me ask you right now, one for one, with the Guerendo thing to wrap this, pivoting away from the CMC and the Olivia thing for a minute second, and the Sophia, sure.
She's good looking too, by the way. It's not like she's just a grinder. You know what I mean?
Well,
it's not
no
like
shit. 43.5 million. She just shows up. She just come on.
Just saying.
I mean, of course. I mean, that's like, yes, of course. I
think we're taking South Harmon to OnlyFans. You know what I mean?
I mean, people say that's already what it is. It's just all the money's went to Sophia. I mean, let me ask you right now with Guerendo, where would you slate him right now? Contender rest of season. I'm gonna go through, give you a would you rather here. All right. Jonathan Brooks, Isaac Guerendo right now.
Man, Maddie just dropped a nice video here talking about how he really likes a sleeper Jonathan Brooks for the rest of the year. So this one's tough because there is a dynasty aspect, but I think if I just said fuck it and went for it all, I'm going to go with Guerendo.
Mike, I have a delivery. I'm going to need you to ad-lib for me.
You're good. Good.
Right.
I got it. Go get your Red Bulls. Red Balls.
No,
Red Balls give him wings. It's a tough one. Man, Jonathan Brooks. Like, if you put in the dynasty aspect of it, I say you take Jonathan Brooks. No fucking question. But when I get to contender, like super contender status, like locked in, kind of when I'm trying to Google Sophie Rain or one of the Olivias, you know what I mean? You're only thinking with one track mind. You know what I'm talking about? It might be Isaac Guerendo. I think Isaac Guerendo's the ceiling, It could be good. I'm taking Isaac. What the fuck Fizzle call him earlier too? I gotta scroll up for this one. Way up in the chat. Isaac Ginger Snaps. Isaac Ginger Snaps. I wish I could put that shit up on screen. Isaac Ginger Snaps. What did Matt B says? Sophia has a much more dangerous job than Saquon, so there's that. I mean, it's behind a camera. Like, what's she gonna pull, a hammy? You know what I mean? Come on, Matt. Explain yourself. Is she gonna pull a hammy? Like in some of them poses? Which I assume there's gotta be poses. Like, I can't find pictures. If you got pictures, Twitter DMs, hit me up. Let me know. @IWillMichael. I'll just not those kind of pictures. You know what I mean? Keep them female. Keep them female. But I assume there's got to be some poses, so maybe she pulls a hammy or something. What else we got here? I'll keep vamping while Adam gets his one Red Bull. I swear to God, if this man got one Red Bull fucking DoorDashed or Uber Eats, it's a sad day. This is like a $15 Red Bull probably in New York City. Must be really good. Once he said Red Bull gives you wings, I bet. She gets at least one concussion per season, Matt B. Okay. Somebody said she's a virgin, though. Let me scroll up for this one. Iowa math. Maddie Gomes. Sophia's a virgin. Leave her alone. Let's find out. Not that. I wish. Unless my wife's listening, then I don't wish. Oh, yeah. Yeah, there's a top story in there. Just making headlines. Says she's a devout Christian and a virgin. Made $43.5 million on OnlyFans. All right. Don't need Iowa math for that one. Jesus. This is what happens when Adam leaves. This goes, I told you, South Harmon's going to OnlyFans. Dr. B, is it really that bad? Can you see him? I look out the corner of my eye. Oh, yeah. You got it, Dr. B. Hit the pause. Zoom in. See what I'm seeing. We looking. And where the fuck is this delivery? Like, he's got to go down like 8 stories? I feel like I've been here for 14 minutes. What else we got? I played 8 minutes of American Pie on today's 4D Chess Dynasty Football podcast. That was a song that Maddie said should be the outro. Fit with what we were talking about. YouTube won't let me get away with that. That'd get demonetized. But, on Spotify, Apple, Google Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts, if you listen to 4D Chess, you got to take a big shit, like T-Rock said. It was perfect. It was perfect. Matt P says, I see at least one concussion. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
There it is. There's a Red Bull. God damn. We're canceled, by the way. I just got a text from YouTube.
What's that?
We got canceled while you were gone.
Did we really?
Yeah.
What happened?
Sophie Rain's getting concussions. She's a devout Christian and a virgin.
Well, I mean, Mike, you thought this wasn't going to happen? Come on, this is exactly what was going to happen.
Hater maker. I've been buying her farts in a jar for a while.
The good news is
right.
this is exactly what I was thinking was going to happen.
Holy shit. Back
Not
to your
like
original
9
question.
floors up and down an elevator. A lot can happen. A lot can happen.
I was asking if you had to go all the way down, and if you got just one Red Bull,
No, there's a.
Okay.
I mean, come on, Mike. You've seen the consumption levels are a problem. It's a whole bag full. It was bad. Poor guy's on a bike. He's probably trying to keep balance with all those things.
One of those bike delivery guys.
Yeah. The worst part, you can't get in. You normally can just come in, but this late, you got to go all the way down the lobby. So.
That's fair.
Anyway,
your original question. I'm taking Guerendo on a contender because I'm getting a little spicy. You know what I mean?
I like that one. So then, what about? Let's keep the list going. What about Tyrone Tracy?
Ooh. He's kind of got in the doghouse here these last couple weeks.
I know.
He fumbles. And goddamn.
Fumble-rooski.
Give me Guerendo over my boy Tyrone Tracy. Too.
Interesting.
Fuck it.
I wasn't sure if you were going to go both of these, so now I feel like we're cooking. How about Christian McCaffrey or Isaac Guerendo?
On a contender?
I'm literally going down the Keep Trade Cup without asking the silly ones. I feel like that one might have been, but
give me the Guerendo.
Wouldn't that be awesome to see that trade go down 1-for-1?
Yes,
in a Dynasty League? It'd be amazing to see that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, how about Trey Benson?
Guerendo.
How about, obviously, same thing with Dobbins then, Connor or Guerendo?
Man. Give me Connor. Give me old Steady Eddie.
All right. How about Travis Etienne?
Give me Etienne, unfortunately.
Really?
Yeah.
Why so?
Yeah. Well, they've really just killed this Tank Bigsby thing. You know what I mean?
Right, but
He's
have
hurt.
they resurrected this Travis Etienne thing? Is my only question.
Maybe. I don't know. He's out there playing. All right.
He is, but it feels like. Let me just make sure that I'm not speaking ill of him for no reason. I feel as though, he's still
right.
done about as much for your teams as Guerendo has when not playing. So.
That's true. That's true.
I mean, literally the only reason he would be viable for he has not scored a single touchdown too since week 2.
He's not been on double-digit fantasy points since week 5.
Right. Can I tell you? I've seen Guerendo do it twice since week 5
on 25% of the snaps. Fuck it, man.
I don't sway the McNutt often, but when I do,
let's go, man. Fucking Isaac Guerendo.
I prefer Guerendo.
Fucking Etienne dead.
There's actually I don't know if you can hear the sirens. I think they're coming for you, buddy,
yeah.
and they're coming for Etienne.
Yeah. They're coming for him.
All right, let's go 2 more. Tony Pollard, Ramondre Stevenson.
Oh, Pollard and Ramondre.
And the Rhino. I'm with you there. It's just so interesting to see how this list, at this position especially, where, I get it, but it's short term. So still, why is Braylon Allen ahead of him? Mike, please help me. Braylon Allen or Guerendo, just for the sake of my sanity.
Oh, Guerendo. Guerendo.
I don't.
Come on.
I'm just reading the paper here, buddy. You know.
Huh.
What up, Andrew? Yes, I am in NYC. I'll be here till tomorrow.
Swing by.
Well, I leave tomorrow. What's that?
Until Andrew swing by. You know, drive across.
Come
the
on
bridge or
through.
whatever.
Come on through tomorrow. Yeah, I'll be here till 2:00.
Whatever the fuck they do.
Take that 800 and spend it wisely. If you know, you know.
Fuck you,
I
Corey.
don't actually know, but I love it.
Fuck
I'll
you,
pretend as
Corey.
if I don't.
You're a fucking asshole. But I love you. I'll see you tomorrow night.
Tank Bigsby or Guerendo.
Guerendo. Come on.
Easy. Yeah.
Come on.
I think everyone here after that, though, is pretty much Guerendo. Based on your ranking, though, I think like we put him at, late 20s, right?
Yeah, why not, man? He's ascended all the way up there. Fuck it. It feels like a good staging area for liftoff.
I think the one thing you could argue, though, like all the guys that I talked about, is at least what we think. Again, we haven't necessarily seen it. There's a chance Guerendo gets more work than basically everybody we talked about.
Yes.
For these last few weeks. So,
Unless you believe in Abanikanda or Patrick Taylor.
I mean, I don't know if you even have to believe in them. Like, they just need to do something, Can they do something?
Oh, fuck it. Give me Isaac, man. Give me
Yeah,
Isaac.
I'm with you. I think he's worth a home run swing. Is just not if we're getting crazy. Like, I don't know. What's your cutoff, Mike? 208?
Yeah. That feels about right.
Kind of with you. Somewhere in that range. If you wanted to go up to 206 or something. I'm just not sending early seconds for Guerendo right now with what we don't know. Like, we don't know for sure that he's going to get all the touches. Patrick Taylor and him might be, like, kind of splitting, 60-40. So,
And if you think about it, let's just say here he smashes. He comes out this week and he puts up 20 points. Puts up a nice 20 burger in this offense. Should be good. Next week he puts up another, 18, 19-point game, something along those lines. He finishes the season on a high note. Is he really going to be worth that much more come the offseason than the 202, 203, 204? Or is he gonna all of a sudden, on the back of 4 or 5 games, is he going to ascend into, he has to be a first territory?
No, just because CMC is still under contract. So unless he's like saying I'm retiring, it's over. Like, you don't have that allure.
Not even that though. But let's say he has a good finish to the end of the season.
Sure.
We got the April draft coming. What if they draft a dude in the 3rd round or 4th round as one of the guys we like?
Sure.
You're
I mean, like Guerendo was, just drafted, right?
You know what I mean? Like they do it again. All of a sudden you go from like, oh man, he was locked in first to, oh shit, I don't know what to do here.
Well,
like,
I mean, the difference there though is that not necessarily the difference there would be he would be winning you a ship, so all that shit kind of don't matter, right? That's like theoretically for me. While that is true, it's more like, okay, I can live with whatever I lost or did not gain there because he's earning me money. That's if he smashes, that's what I'm looking for. You know what I mean?
Jordan Mason was out here smashing, so I just want you guys to know the downside. He's out here smashing early in the season, and for those people who paid first for him, thinking that was the thing, you know what I mean? Like,
well, what's the difference there, though?
Well, also too, I don't think you and I ever really believed in him like long term for him.
That's exact. Not just you and I. I think. Think about the way that we approach the game, just Dynasty gamers as a whole. Guerendo's a guy like there's an extra bona fide like value to that's my guy. I got him late. He's a young, talented rookie. We got to see him blossom. Those guys, they go to the moon. See Braylon Allen. See these guys, right? Jordan Mason's a guy that nobody picked as their sleeper back in the day. And if they did, they wrote him off. Like it's over. And now it's just like now he's a nuisance. So this happens to the tight end position a lot, but that person's basically got no value insulation at all. They have to continue to produce at an elite level. Otherwise, the floor is going to fall out.
Hey, shout out to the 4D podcast from 2 weeks ago where we talked about Devon Vele. You know, like you know what? If
There you
Devon
go.
Vele didn't have that R next to his name on Sleeper, nobody'd give a fuck. Nobody'd give a fuck at him. And
No.
even though, if you actually looked at it, I mean, Matty was listing off like all the wide receivers Devon Vele's older than. You know what I mean? Like, dudes have been in the league for fucking 5 years.
Yeah, he's old. I mean, he's
old as fuck. But that, to your point, right? Because he's got that little R next to his fucking name, and he's a rookie. You had people out here being like, "You should trade a second for Devon Vele." Look, what?
Well, same as
The
Wicks.
fuck? What?
That was the Dontavian Wicks syndrome, right?
But at least if Dontavian Wicks wasn't 37 years old.
But I got bad news for you. 37, 27, 17, 57. It doesn't. It's probably gonna be the same thing. Like,
That's fair. Yeah.
Sometimes overvaluing the age number is just another crazy thing. But I think that's the point in general. Like, Guerendo still has, and that's something you still can. That's something you can still utilize in trade value. Like, for example, in a case like that, Mike, where it could go well, right? You talk about it from both lenses. Obviously, if you don't know, if we haven't tried to explain it to good enough, how about real directly here, Mike? Guerendo could end up going out there, not seizing all the work, fumbling the ball like Tyrone Tracy. A number of things could happen where he's not actually worth whatever you were spent on him right now. The positive is, though, if he was to, he could end up winning you a league, right, over the next 4 weeks. He could end up not just doing that, but having, because of winning people leagues, like, you could very well flip him back for something similar than what you had right now. So I get it. I think right now people are, you know, if you have picks at this point and you're a contender, Mike, you're really looking to unload. And I feel like people are trying to put Guerendo into a tier he's a little bit not certain to actually produce for, like early seconds, late first. I'm not saying it can't work out. It just, that's lofty, man. Really lofty.
Really? Yeah. All right. Isaac Guerendo, the Enigma. The Enigma. We don't know what the fuck to do with him.
And the Enigma, too, because this year especially, this is Mike, it's like people don't know what to do all of a sudden when a guy gets hurt and there's a back to be put up as the one now, because nobody's getting hurt this year. Like, how are we in week 14 and, like, damn near nobody's getting hurt? It's crazy. Uh-oh. Are you muted? Yeah, you're muted.
Oh, I was going to say, at the running back position, wide receivers have been fucking decimated. Decimated. Quarterbacks taking a dump left and right. Fuck it. But running backs, the one position that gets hurt more than anybody else. That's why you should never have running backs on your team. Fine.
Yeah,
fine.
you know what's crazy though is this was almost like when too many, like, the whole community, fantasy football, was just wide receiver over running back to this degree. Like, the gods have to speak. You know, the gods have to do something. Like, this was always bound to happen, right? Like, just running backs to the moon this year. Bro, the other thing, I don't know if you saw this. Shout out to Pete Overzet. There's like, he had a tweet and then like a little article about this. If you look last year this time, not just because there's so many more receivers hurt, but like Tyreek Hill was at like 1,400 yards right now. There's like multiple receivers past 1,000. Jerry Jeudy, just because he had literally 200-plus yards, whatever that was, a few days ago, is tied for 4th in the entire NFL in yards right now, Mike. Like, it's not just these guys are hurt. These guys are not giving you stats, bruh. Like, the wide receiver position has taken an absolute dump.
What?
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here. Jerry Jeudy is tied for 5th in the entire league for receiving yards on the season.
Yeah. Tied for 4th, right?
Tied for 5th.
Tied for 5th, okay.
That includes all positions.
Brock Bowers.
Bowers is
I'm talking receivers. Yeah, 4th receiver, because that's true. Brock Bowers is way up there. That's fair.
Chase Jefferson, which Jefferson with 5 touchdowns getting outpaced by fucking Nick Westbrook-Akine was not what I had on my bingo card for 2024, by the way. Terry McLaurin.
Terry,
Who?
the
Terry
god,
McLaurin,
the
third
god.
Fucking league receiving. Mike, you're crazy for wanting to send a first for him. You're a fucking idiot. Yeah, worked out all right. CeeDee Lamb 5th. CeeDee Lamb on a shitty year. A shitty year for him. Shitty. 4th in the league. 4th in the league. Jerry Jeudy tied with CeeDee Lamb.
Think about this from the full season standpoint, which we're talking about now. Jerry Jeudy moving to the Browns, right? Amari Cooper's there. You tell me Watson's going to be awful and get hurt. And you're telling me he's going to be 4th in the NFL at this point, Mike, in yards. Like,
JSN, who I feel like we've only seen 3 weeks from in his entire fucking career, and it's all been like the last
Andrew's onto it, man, too. Look, like, yeah.
JSN's 11th.
Dude, and the crazy, like, JSN and Jeudy were dead for a large, like, what felt like a large majority of the season,
Oh my God. Lad McConkey. 13.
Sucks he popped up on the injuries, right?
Yeah, he did. Brian Thomas, he's up there.
I guess the point overall is it's not just that a lot of guys did get hurt, which ultimately is going to bring down the total yardages anyway. But the guys that are out here are how many? I think is it only 3,000 yard receivers right now?
2.
Okay, there you go. Even
Jefferson.
better. Come on, man. Come on, Mike.
I was gonna say Malik Neighbors is top 20 in the league, and he missed like 8 weeks. It felt like, and he hasn't done shit since like week 3.
Which is, I mean, you're not wrong. It is a gross. That's gross as hell. But this is why if you go look at a warp chart right now, and you were, let's say you were literally, coming out of a coma, and you just looked at a warp chart for the first time, you're gonna be like, huh? The hell? What the fuck happened?
A real bad year for the 0 RB bros. Like a bad year.
The only thing is, it doesn't have to be, because you could have drafted plenty of guys that are doing okay too. Chuba Hubbard, right? It's just the entire running back position is good. Now, granted, you doing that, you missed on Achane. You missed on, Henry. You missed on Barkley. You missed on a lot of the guys that smashed too.
To be fair, you only have 2,000 yard rushers as well so far in the season.
Sure. What do you want to know?
Just so happens that they're out there just fucking Matt B, yeah, we can definitely get back to Sophia any fucking time you say, man. Just
basically fantasy football isn't fun this year is what you're saying.
Fantasy football isn't fun.
Nice.
Oh my God.
All right, Mike, let's talk about this. We like playing in take the trade deadline off, right? Take the rules out of it. What do we know for most leagues though? We have until, I don't want to go over the technicalities again, but some point this week at the end of the games, about midnight-ish.
For sleeper leagues, I'll be definitive. I'll put the people on game. If you're in sleeper leagues, and this is how it's worked in the past for years, Monday night,
midnight-ish,
about 11:30 Central, so 12:30 if you're the East Coaster.
Yep.
Somewhere between there and a quarter to 1 for the East Coast, quarter to midnight for our Central people. That's when the official trade deadline.
Hard deadline. If you think the plan for midnight Eastern, you should be fine. Now, granted, Mike, I'll say that, and you know what happened week. What do we got? What did I miss? Mike,
Dr.
the reflection.
B loves my glasses.
Because
he can see what I'm googling.
What are you looking at? Oh my gosh! Look at that! Look at all those images. I can't see what's on there, but I know there are a bunch of images he shouldn't be looking at, or should be.
I love it.
What was that? Now I don't even know what the hell I was saying. Week 1, Mike. Week 1 was crazy. In locking the lineups. Do you remember that? Lineups were locking in lineup leagues mad early, dude.
Yeah.
I'm talking like it was well over a half hour before the games. It was insane.
It was like, oh, by the way, we fucked up. Our bad. Oh. Whoops.
Killed me.
Whoops.
It was a big game, too.
No, Jay. The hub comes as soon as this podcast is over. You know what I mean?
What, the hot hub? The hot tub?
Yeah, that's exactly what he's talking about. Nailed it.
Jay knows. By the way, if Cousins gets benched, I'm cooked. I mean, I'm not.
Well, he hasn't been doing enough for you anyways, unless he plays the Bucks.
Dude,
I think you'll be all right. Kind of be
what
the same thing. You might even be better off.
Mike, what if this, speaking of not having stuff on the bingo card, laying out, like, going over all the past scenarios and going over all the potential scenarios for Penix, right? What no one had on the bingo card, without injury to Kirk Cousins, right? It takes him off the field. The Falcons win the division, and Penix just inserts into the starting lineup as that happens.
So something else, just to point out, you're 1,000% right. I don't think but you and I had talked about it with Michael Penix a little bit, right? But we thought it would be like halfway through the season.
Yeah. If you're telling me Cousins does enough to get them to the playoffs and win the division, especially, like, you're like, they're not going to pull him off. They're just not going to.
I think the scenario I threw out, and I mean, this is way in the offseason, was that Kirk was still rehabbing from the injury. Michael Penix would get in there, kill OTAs, kill training camp, kill the preseason, and it would be like this Dak, Tony Romo kind of thing where it's like, one of them was banged up, and listen, the fucking rook that we just spent the pick on looks too good, so we can't not play him.
I have some.
I didn't think it'd be, week 14, 15. We're talking about Kirk Cousins looked cooked.
Let me give you a little name drop and little knowledge that was spit to me a couple of days ago. Actually, yesterday I just got here. So Brett Coleman was here, right? So he was talking about this situation, and he was saying how basically because Cousins cannot get like outside for handoffs, and they want to have they're running out of the pistol a ton this year, Mike. And essentially the problem is their tell is so obvious and blatant what they're going to be doing, and if they're going to be running the football or not, because of how they're having to use Cousins not under center. And it's, if you're a coach and you're handicapped like that, where the defense has a high percentage probability of what you're going to be running, that's like the whole game. That's the chess game's over. If you just know what they're going to do. So, I mean, he didn't say that they're gonna switch from him, but he basically said it also wouldn't be necessarily all that shocking. And the fact that they made that contract signing without being able to get a physical to him is very clear and obvious now. Like, he's not able to get outside on these zone handoffs.
Two tweets that I saw today, recently, that I would say are my absolute favorite in regards to this situation. This is fucking great. One's from Analytics of Dynasty, Jordan McNamara Dynasty. Follow him on Twitter. The people who called Michael Penix a bad pick in May are calling for Atlanta to bench Kirk Cousins in December, which is pump the brakes, folks. Now this is your savior. And then the other one from Wyatt B_FF. Wyatt. I follow him on Twitter.
These guys are both good follows, yeah.
Yeah. Roma Dunze, Jalen McMillan, and Jalen Polk are really making me think that Michael Penix is a talent riser. Like, he raises all ships. You and I both love Roma Dunze, but we can acknowledge that this rookie year hasn't been the most rosiest. Jalen McMillan's done fucking nothing. And Jalen Polk has done fucking nothing.
I mean, but
the running back that they had last year, Johnson. We had the film sessions where we're like, man, we kind of like this Johnson kid out of, he's got some ACL injuries or whatever, but he looks really good last year. I think he made Tennessee drafted him or picked him up as a UDFA.
Yes, what the hell was the kid's name? Damn. No, I know what you're talking about. Yes.
I always want to call him David Johnson, but it ain't fucking David Johnson.
Well, that would be legendary. Worst per season, anyway.
Who gives a fuck? That guy is irrelevant out of the league.
Sure.
So maybe Michael Penix is the fucking answer. You know what I mean? Maybe he's the truth. So maybe Kyle Pitts will get back to, Fizzle's Dynasty tight end 1. Just put Michael Penix in. Maybe Drake London will realize all of our dreams.
Well, Mike, let me just say Kyle Pitts made it to the waiver wire this week in a big money league. Someone finally decided it's time. It's time. It's time. I mean, Mike, that wire is gross. It is terrible, and somehow Pitts made it back out there. Like, yeah, Dylan. There we go. Dylan Johnson. There we go.
Dylan Johnson. I knew it was a D. I had such a good trade.
Mike,
earlier
of
this
course,
season.
Mike knew it was a D. No pause.
Yeah, I had such a good trade earlier in the year, right, Adam? Like, Chris Godwin just went down with an injury. He just went. He was carrying my contending team early. He just went down.
Yeah.
So I went to a team, and I traded Chris Godwin and Trey McBride. Right, tight ends don't matter. Chris Godwin and Trey McBride.
It's a nice little package too.
I got Amari Cooper and Kyle Pitts back. And I'm thinking like home run, fucking slam dunk. And I'll say this too. The next week was the 1 week Kyle Pitts went the fuck off. Right after I made that trade, Kyle Pitts went fucking nuclear. I think.
Now, was Cooper in Buffalo yet? I'm trying to remember. I feel like he was still in Cleveland, right? Yeah.
I think it was his last week in Cleveland. But Kyle Pitts goes off for like a 30 burger, and I look like a fucking genius. Like I look like.
Look at Mike. He got his shades on, got the chains and shades. Like we're living good, man. Kyle Pitts is back.
Pure fucking dog shit since then with Kyle Pitts. Just fucking. And Amari Cooper hasn't done fuck.
No.
Nothing.
Amari Cooper also belongs on waiver wire. Like he's most of the passes thrown his way he can't catch either. So drop him.
Fucking terrible.
How many quarterbacks does Pitts need to go back to a top 5 tight end?
Listen, Kirk Cousins is not playing well, all right? So I'm not going to put the blame on him. But at some point, too, with like this Garrett Wilson thing, this Drake London thing, this Kyle Pitts thing, at some point, too, it's like...
Well, hold on.
Like, how many excuses are we going to
What's dead may never die. Come on. Even you know that.
It's everybody's else.
Listen, Penix could be the savior. Like, Pitts could be one of those players that we will make excuses for and say it doesn't matter what happens. If that's the case, I don't know. Who's your Red Bull plug?
It's time for an unsolicited Penix pick. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. Well,
nobody asked for it. But we need it.
You know what would be crazy is like, especially in best ball where you can, to your point, roster construct well. You can also take on some risks that are cheap enough at the time. Like I'm not kidding you. There's still a handful of contenders where I have some Penix. Like, let me go ahead and just get that guy on my team in best ball right before the playoffs start. Oh my God, come on.
Why not?
Haters. Because people that like traded Penix at some point, whether it was during the draft process or through the season, they're sure he's not going to play for like 2 or 3 seasons. So you imagine the fumes. Oh God, it'd be so bad.
Holy shit!
Listen, Jay, that you never reveal your sources. All right, it's rule 101 of life. If you want to.
What flavor is that?
So this, you know what? I'm gonna do a little Red Bull thing here. They can, for the last several releases of seasonal flavors, right? Like, they release what sounds gross to me, right? And I'm like
that pear one. That pear one was
the apricot. Yeah, it was like, or pear. It sounded kind of gross. Sounded like not what I wanted to have.
Cinnamon pear or spicy pear?
Cinnamon pear was last winter. Yeah, okay. Cinnamon pear. That thing, Mike. Eric Van Eck. Shout out to E if you're still here.
I had a couple of them at the expo. You still?
Oh, you did. You're right. Yeah. What'd you think? Liked it?
Yeah, it wasn't bad. I'm not a big energy drink guy. Like, I gave it caffeine.
Iced. Here we go. Let's see if I can get it on here. Iced vanilla berry, right? Like none of that sounds good to me. An iced like frosting type stuff or vanilla berry. I was like, man, why are they doing this? Like, this sounds
vanilla berry.
Telling you, it doesn't matter what they call the flavor. It's just gas. It's absolutely ridiculously
I got
good.
something if we're gonna show people.
Oh no. Oh. Where are you? Scooby Dooby Doo. Did those just come in?
Yeah, they came in a couple of days ago. Day 1 releases, baby.
You know what, Andrew? That's 100% correct. I would love to have an event calendar from Red Bull.
Advent calendar Red Bull. Dude.
Big time, Jay. It's really good, man.
Scooby-Doo Mellows.
Those are sick, dude.
Yeah, they're sitting right next to my Scoot Henderson Flamin' Hot Cheetos.
Those bad boys just pull up today?
They showed up Monday. Monday.
Okay. Damn.
I got
nice.
home from work. It was a nice surprise. I was pretty happy. And then, in a couple weeks or month or whenever they drop the release date, the mellow Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle ones are coming out, and you definitely know them.
Well, don't you have those coming through your plug, if you will?
Yeah, I wish I had a plug. Puma, hit me up.
No, you do.
Oh,
shout out to the
right.
South Harmon Vibes
Oh,
channel.
my God.
Come on, Mike.
I forgot. I almost let him off the fucking hook.
Damn it.
You're my guy. You're my guy forever.
Fizz, I'm sorry. I got in between. You got a couple of gentlemen that had a bet that Mike completely was going to let off the hook. Damn.
I was going to let him off I completely fucking forgot. But thanks for Adam for reminding me. Our new channel, South Harmon Vibes. Go check it out.
Yep.
We had a trivia night. It was a good one. And
we're going to be back Friday, too, doing a game show.
The loser had to buy the other one, their size, in the new mellow Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle shoes whenever they drop, so that would be Fizzle because he lost.
Also,
spoiler alert, I'm the champ.
Well, also, because to the point, there was even the winner had a payout, and Mike, the winner,
Yes.
So right now, what you can do if you're watching this and you're interested in free things,
It's free.
to the Patreon, go subscribe to the South Harmon Vibes channel, and you got a comment. I forget what it was.
I'll accept because I forgot what it was, and I don't think we had any comment.
I forget. No, you said something crazy right before we got off. Mike's the champ or something like that.
Mike's the champ. Mike's the champ. Go comment.
So you comment that in there, and you're going to be put in to win 3 months of the top tier patron. So.
Yeah, Savage Tier. You come hang out with us on fucking Thursday nights when we watch football and shit post away and listen to all Jay Jackson's awesome puns.
Yep. So I mean, that's on top of getting to see the Fizzle Friday and whatever else we're gonna start cooking up over there. Mike, Mike, you hoop? Yeah. Well,
I think Adam can attest to this. Okay, I'm a fat kid. All right, but you can tell that once upon a time, I had a little bit of sauce. The
jump shot's still there, Jump shot's still there.
I still got the form and the follow through. Like I can look the part. Okay, I can. In a pickup
Mike could
game,
still. I do think to your point. We talked about this on another AMA. You could still probably your high school role, right? Go stand over in the corner, wait for the kick out. You can still pull that off.
Just give it to me in the corner. You know, I'm not dunking on anybody. I ain't taking you off the bounce.
Shout out to Rafferty from the corner.
Yeah.
McNutted.
It's definitely not the other Rafferty, throw it down, big fella.
No.
Send it in, Jerome.
Yeah, from the corner. No. Yeah, from the corner. From the corner.
Let's just say, you probably definitely take me off the bounce. I ain't as quick and cat as I used to be.
But this is the thing, though. Everything has a father time catches up with all, and period. And you're seeing it with CMC. That's why Guerendo's here. The jumper it's like the last thing to leave typically. I mean, listen, I'll tell you, all the other stuff, it definitely goes first.
It definitely ain't much of a jumper anymore, Adam, either. It's like in between that.
It's a set shot. Yeah, it's a set shot. Right, sure.
It's like a Jokic. That's what it is. It's kind of like a Jokic.
That's tough.
Just not as ugly. He's got terrible form, but it goes in. So just
Jokic,
whatever.
He doesn't need form. He is the form.
I love the fact that the greatest current basketball player on the entire fucking planet is a 7 foot, fucking Serbian who's out of shape. And
I know you have to hate. I know you have to hate all the stuff circling around about LeBron right now. Not to go down any, rabbit holes, but
LeBron's a goat.
I'm just telling you. I wasn't even aware of all of it. I got here and Gut was, filling me all in on some of that shit.
I can't.
I thought he was gonna cry, man. Gut's a huge Bron truther,
Oh, fucking Ryan Clark's out here calling out LeBron for being what the kids call it, capper. He's capping.
Again, I'm reporting the news. I got nothing to say on the matter. How about Carr, Stafford, Young, Rodgers, and possibly Wilson and Jameis are my options? Which one scores the most during the playoffs? Tell me this is best ball, please, because lineup we're just. What do you do? Lineup? No. God, no. Are you on mute? Oh, you're back. Okay.
I was just saying he's got a lot of mids. A lot of mids.
I'll be honest though, Jameis is he can have a bad game. I'm not going to, but I'm throwing him in there. There's just, how do you not? Mike, I actually got an interesting stat for you. Check this out. Pull it up from the phone here. All right. Let's see if I can find it. Hold up. Where is this thing at? You're going to love this Jameis stat because this is up your alley, too. Trust me on this one. Here you go. All right. So Jameis threw for 497 yards versus the Broncos. The Broncos also had 171 interception return yards against him. The 668 combined passing yards plus interception return yards is the most in a single game in NFL history. That's crazy. That game versus the Broncos shows you why, as fun as he might be for fantasy, he just is. That's why he's where he's at. He's he'll infuriate you just as quickly, you know.
I wish I could find it again too, because I did see a tweet today. It's a picture of Jameis. He's wearing like a priest get up. You know what I mean?
Oh no!
In a church, and the caption above his head said, "Lord, deliver me from pick sixes." And then behind him, just off to the side, is this chick with her ass hanging out, and it just says "pick sixes." You know what I mean?
My goodness, where this dude? Where do you find some of this stuff? I always wonder, like,
I don't know.
What kind of dark alley on the internet is Mike down right now? You know,
Eli's got that algo cooking for me. That's what he's got. But
that's true.
If I did, I'm ruling Rodgers out. Like, fuck you, done. No, there's no.
Like
no
the other thing is, Bryce Young's also made this a lot tougher than it was. Yeah.
Interesting. Stafford probably. Fuck, man, what a brutal schedule.
Dude,
Niners,
Stafford,
Jets,
honestly, Stafford to me is maybe another one that he seems safest, but I don't know that's the case anymore either.
What about, man, I didn't think we'd be here. Derek Carr gets the Giants, Commanders, and Packers, and then the Raiders.
I could see it. The thing about Carr, though, like I will say of the options here, he could end up scoring the most, but it feels like that means that some of these other guys just didn't have great weeks. It feels like he doesn't have that, like, week winning upside very frequently anymore. I'm not going to act like he still couldn't, but
let's just say my 101's going Jameis.
Yeah, it's got to be.
Fucking chuck him. I mean, the
Yeah.
101 out of all these guys right now is Jameis. So that one's easy.
The fact that he still did that, Mike, in that snow game, right? And like what we saw, I'm not going to act like the weather is not a part, but they're going to let him chuck it around,
Still
man.
do
It's
it.
crazy.
Bryce Young gets the Eagles this week. Not ideal, but if we're
Playoff
talking
schedule's
playoff,
nice, though.
Cowboys, Cardinals, Bucks, all can be had.
I mean, if you know anything about Cousins and how cooked he is, there's two teams that he's cooked. And it's actually the same team. It's two different games. The Bucks.
Steelers. All right, so Eagles in round one of the playoffs.
Russell's going to be the other one I wanted to dig into. I think the Steelers have a tough schedule, though.
Yes, Eagles in round one of the playoffs. Ravens, Chiefs. So I couldn't put a lot of faith in Russ with that. He's playing well. So I guess when just looking at the schedules, man, I'm probably rolling Jameis, number one. And I might go Bryce. I'm going Bryce Young. Fuck it, definitively. I'm going Bryce. Give me Bryce.
Yeah, I think
Bryce.
I think I'm going Jameis, and then whatever you really feel more comfortable with between Bryce and Russ. The one thing I'm curious about, Mike, I don't know if you've thought about this too. Like the one thing that I'm wondering about for the Steelers, right? This is very much a copycat league in the NFL, and it feels like for the team that's defense has just been so ridiculous, so good. Like the Bengals were out here just forcing the Steelers to put up points, and does that mean that overall the scoring could be higher, where teams are kind of figuring out possibly how to beat and score points on the Steelers, making Russ have to keep up?
I think that is a possibility. I don't think you're fucking crazy on it too. But the teams that he also plays that I listed off are all teams that are really embracing this style of run the football, play defense, slow the fucking game down. we're just gonna wear you down, right? Like so. The
one thing is like I'm thinking right now this week again. They played the Browns. What are the Browns gonna be doing? They're chucking that bitch. Even if they lose a bunch, like they're gonna be just all over the yard.
Right.
The Steelers. I'm sorry. Then they got the Eagles, Ravens, and Chiefs. To your point, which is a different conversation.
I mean, you want to talk about three of the better defenses in the entire fucking league that he has to play, and three of the better teams when I'm talking about slowing the ball down and just running the fucking football.
Well, Eagles and Ravens, even especially, are like that. If you think of two teams, they literally just faced off where it's like these guys want to establish fucking two running backs back there for those. I bet
this year Pete Carroll is just sitting at home with a giant fucking raging heart on, just being like, see, I was team establishing, play defense. You guys fucking crucified me for this. He's like, I'd be fucking killing it if I was still in the league right now. Establish it, play defense.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I'm putting Jameis, and then I'm going to play. I'd be fine with either one, Russ or Bryce. Bryce has really made it interesting lately. And the thing is, the last two games, like, it's not fluke either. If you saw any of, going back and watching that game versus the Chiefs especially, there was a lot of takeaways that are really nice. And then you saw again this week, like, damn, he's starting to put a lot of the confidence and the poise together that we saw from him playing in Bama. So with the schedule that he has, I mean, he certainly wouldn't be crazy to be playing him right now.
I'm not going to rule out Derek Carr either because he gets Commanders at home and he gets the Raiders at home.
I think I'm with Fizzle finally. Like, with all these options, I'm ready to bury him. Like
ready to bury him.
Honestly, for the vibes too. Like all these guys, like let me put somebody else out there. Like imagine you play Carr and then you have to root kind of against all those other quarterbacks. It's like no, can't do it. No.
It's a tough.
You got to keep rooting for Traquan Smith. I mean MVS to keep scoring touchdowns. Come on.
Hatermaker's got the fucking Raiders logo, on his YouTube thing right here. So he'd be rooting against his Raiders for Derek Carr to tear their ass up in the championship.
For sure. All right, we got any other questions before we dip? I mean, damn, it's crazy. 90 minutes. We're 90 minutes in. 90 minutes in. It flies, man.
90.
Absolutely flies.
90. It was the Sophie reign. I'll get her name right. Trust me.
What's amazing is somehow Mike found a way to basically like stiff arm and completely like Olivia got no love tonight. Like just complete thrown aside to the wolves. Like just nah. We're not. You're not of the ilk.
Let me pull it back up for my man DB.
Crazy.
That's fucking Dr. B right here.
Absolutely crazy. Sub Dr. B. How do I turn Javonte Williams and Rashad White into some value for my rebuild team? Well,
damn.
You go back in time when you should have moved them. Because I think, with Kyle Pitts and Javonte both got cut this week in a redraft league I'm in.
Yep.
I'm not sure where Mike's mind is. It could be any which way right now.
I'll leave it up for interpretation.
Just the random yep. Like, okay, well, look at his glasses. I can tell you where his mind's at on this yep. Okay.
Oh my!
You still like Javonte, huh?
Sure do. He's
really
voluptuous.
This whole Sean Payton thing. You're still in? All right, fair enough.
I think so.
You're really just not going to buy into Bucky. You still like Rashad White, huh? All right.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely the thicker one. You know what I mean? Damn. I got to get off the internet. It's a dangerous place.
I got Buckied this last week, too. Like, I got Buckied hard.
You got Buckied? Got Buckied. Not like the gas station, man. Shout out to that place.
Yeah. Oh. I got Buckied. I got... the three-headed monster, Achan, CMC, Henry. Bucky beats them all, like clean sweep, easy,
I mean, if you want to turn Javonte and Rashad White, Javonte specifically, Rashad White still kind of has a role. Like, he really does.
But, okay, what is it? Javonte is not like, I don't know that anyone with any type of sense. Now, granted, you read some trades to me earlier on CMC that I'm sure there's plenty of people that play leagues that don't have any sense. But like Javonte feels like there's literally, you can't move him to a contender right now.
Let me find out if there's any Javonte Williams trades.
Let's go. Give me the last like 72 hours. Don't give me these, even a week ago is like, no, can't be.
Too long ago.
Right. Like, didn't you hear? He's dead. Yeah. We'll cross him off the list.
I got one from today.
Oh, boy. Here we go. Riveting.
Javonte for a third.
I mean, there's fish leagues. So, if...
which one you want?
Good for You needs to be the outro song tonight. I like that.
How about this one, man? Best IDP league. Zach Bond and Javonte for Ivan Pace and Jalen Wright.
They're all worthless.
All worthless. Mike Evans and James Cook for Devontae Smith, Javonte Williams a first and a second.
See, there's like Javonte is just like a
toss.
He's a mere piece that's in that trade that doesn't belong. Like. I mean, here's I think the truth. If you can get anybody that will just believe in the name cachet to throw you a single pick, that's what you like. Mike, would you take a fourth for Javonte, or would you rather keep Javonte? Is the question.
I'd rather keep Javonte.
I would too. I think a third is where I would take. I would take Javonte.
I was just gonna say that the third is like where I go. Fuck you, Javonte.
No, because you can re-roll, and his situation is just so uncertain moving forward. Like I would re-roll that. A fourth is kind of like, all right, like I'll just pray and hope. Let me just pray and hope. What about Rachaad White? Same, different, but same.
A little bit rosier.
No way you're getting a second for Rachaad, are you?
And I think that's a tough sell. Like, but
there's
I think
no way.
I think if I had Rachaad White, that's my asking price.
You know what's crazy? I need to know who these people are at this point that just literally don't want draft picks. Like, Mike. Contender or rebuilder? Just think about this for a second. I know if you're contending, you can't insert a pick. Like, we are literally 4 weeks from it being picks that are the most valuable thing. Like, even on a contender, like that's not that far from happening. A second?
Rachaad White or J.K. Dobbins?
No.
No.
No. I want the pick. Whatever the pick is, I want that.
I play in 60
Tell me right now, by the way, Brett was talking about this. Tell me with all these running backs in this class coming out that Harbaugh's not getting his guy. Tell me that especially with Dobbins coming off the injury, like one thing Harbaugh's for sure to do, like as sure as shit, he's getting his guy. Whatever that guy is, first round, second round, it's happening. And that's going to nuke JK. He's already hurt. Poor guy's always hurt. Rachaad White doesn't even need to be hurt to die. Like,
the J.K. Dobbins thing is
sad.
It's sad, but it's also.
But it's real.
It's over.
Here we are.
It's over. I
will say, if there's one person to find a way to make sure it's not over, it's J.K. Because I know for sure, like that same, the way you delivered that, the truth, the feel. All off season, come on, it's over. Like
it's over.
But he had this year. I would rather have a pick of a third round probably than. Would you rather have like an early third than those guys? J.K. and Rachaad White. I would too.
Yeah. I think I would.
Yeah.
I think I would.
So
the one thing about this class coming up, quarterback is lacking. Elite wide receivers, there's one.
There's Ted.
Two. Yeah, like maybe two.
Yeah, I'll give you two.
I'll give you two. The rest of it, honestly, if you really look at it, is going to be a shit ton of running backs that I think are going to fuck up the Rachaad Whites and the Javonte Williams and the, even guys we like Tyrone Tracy, Isaac Guerendo, who we talked about on the show. People really love Bucky Irving. I love Bucky Irving, but like this is also a draft class that completely like fuck that shit up. It just can. There is.
You leave Bucky alone.
I mean, without knowing early declares officially, like who's going back to school, etc.
That's the one thing, though, about the running back market especially, right? It's the NIL for the running back position because of the position and what it commands. Like,
right.
If there is a position that could totally get crazy as far as shit, man. What? Just put Travion's a perfect example. Like Travion for if you play, C2C devy. Like, this guy is supposed to be the guy in that class. He goes back to school. Like, it's almost, you know what I mean? How are you feeling about Hubbard rest of the season with Brooks ramping up? Yeah, good question.
I'm just pointing it out. I think I brought this up before, Adam. But if you go to NFLDraftBuzz.com, I like using that site just kind of as a snapshot. I'm not saying they're 100% factual, but
sure.
Of draft eligible running backs. Now, some of these guys are going to go back to school or petition for 6 years or whatever the fuck it is. But NFL Draft Buzz has Katron Allen as the RB30. And I think that's a guy both you and I were like, man, I really do like Katron. Right above him, I just saw a tweet, and it was posted in our Discord in the Big Meat, Big Drink channel. Savage,
yeah, for sure right now, Jake.
About RJ Harvey. He's NFL Draft Buzz 29th ranked running back. Now, if you cut this shit in half and say there's even 15, start doing the fucking math in your rookie drafts about like how good some of these second and third round picks that you're going to have, even in a weaker quarterback wide receiver class, are going to be. You're like, motherfucker, there's a lot of NFL dudes right now like Javonte Williams, Rashad White, etc., Tyrone Tracy, where we feel good about their like, where we like what they're doing now, but you add a fucking Jay Knott.
The only thing is, I agree I agree theoretically with what you're saying, but the other thing that to keep in mind too, like 23 will always make me remember how we should not just value the talent and what we think of that person, because what happened in 23? These guys just fell and fell and fell. I mean, look at Zach Evans was a prime example. Like, Zach Evans went from this guy's really good, right? Everybody thinks he's a super talented kid that just needs like some refinement. Like 6th round pick to he is already worthless. And never really happened, right? Like that's the thing is some of these guys that are talented may not get the draft capital. They may go to a spot where they're like buried, right?
The only thing I'll say is different, right? So I can go back and I can look at past classes and they freeze this once the draft happens, right? Like once they're known. RB 29 and 30, right? Just to give you reference of what I was talking about. Kalen LeBourne out of Marshall. Anybody know him?
I've heard of him. I've seen them play, but I don't know like a lot about it.
Deneric Prince, UDFA.
Of course. Everybody knows Deneric Prince now.
Jarek Broussard out of Michigan State.
Related to Chris?
Yeah, Chris Broussard's brother, little brother. Jordan Mims. Hey, fuck Jordan Mims.
Hey, Jordan Mims. There he is. Full circle, baby.
Hey, do you know where Jordan Mims went to college, by the way?
Oh, I should, actually.
It is on the West Coast. The mascot's a bulldog.
Coast? Bulldog.
West Coast bulldog. I'm giving you...
God damn, my mind is so Gonzaga right now. It's just so bad. And I know that's obviously not it. It's just killing me.
It is.
Hold on, Fresno.
There you go, my man, Fresno.
Fresno, baby.
All right, let's go.
Just give me, Paul George, baby. Just give me a second to load up the clip. That's all we needed. I knew it was. For some reason, I was gonna say Colorado. And I'm like, no, that's not it. Where did the hell did the kid go? And Fresno State. Interesting. You're muted, by the way.
Fuck, I've done that a lot tonight.
It's okay. It happens.
Trying to take the bias out of it, like with what we know now. Like RB11 is kind of the cutoff on this website, anyways, of the rankings of the 23 class. Where I was like, you're right. Like we missed on these guys, right? Because that was Kendre Miller, and we're like, oh yeah, definitely gonna hit.
But now I will admit I can hear what you're saying. At the same time, though, you cannot. It is impossible physically because you just said, like, I'm trying to take the bias out of it. You cannot do it at this point, even if you try, because we know we have the vision. We already know what happened. So I'm not telling you that the class isn't actually really deep at the running back position. It certainly is. It's just it feels like this is something that we've seen too often. Like a guy that we love is going day 3, late day 3. You still kind of want to value him, and all that means is he's just everybody passed. They don't really believe, and he's just a guy, literally, you know. So that's the only thing about the position as a whole is if you told me all these guys are likely to go like top 4 rounds, even like oh shit, Mike, we're talking like huge value, huge.
Two things that I saw in here. Yeah, the Jake question about GT 101. I will say absolutely fucking not. So I'll be on the other side of this.
Really?
Yes, I'll say absolutely fucking not at this point.
You want Tet?
Not even Tet, but Cam Ward has done enough as a dual threat quarterback to kind of put himself in that Jaden Daniels-ish mold. I'm not going to say he's Jaden Daniels, but he's put himself in that conversation. Shador, from the standpoint of arm talent, pocket passer, prolific, a lot of it's going to be on landing spot or whatever. I would say the majority of the thing. This is my biggest issue with GT 101. And it doesn't have to do with his talent. It has to do with the position he plays, running back, shorter lifespan. You know, like the Jonathan Brooks thing, if you want to look at it now. 23 running back class, kind of how we look at it now. And then the fact,
but look at Bijan and Gibbs though.
That is true, but also look at what the separation or gap is between them and like an Achane. You know
sure,
what I mean?
But I mean, again, Achane's like he would be the enigma again, right? The guy that if we knew he was going to get that role, he would have gone way higher.
And that's fair. But when I look at this class, even if we're not talking about depth, Adam, the difference between the talent level of a Gene T and say Caleb Johnson down to if like a Taj Brooks declared or a Marion Hampton or name one of these other guys, I will say the fall off isn't that much, right? So to say that I'm bar none going to take a running back at the 101 when I could really get a very similar one at the 109 or maybe in the early part of the second round, that's why I won't do it, because I'm not going to get a similar quarterback or a wide receiver in that position. The biggest thing is like the biggest thing though for me is that Gene T is a absolute lock for the first round, and there's a chance he's like early first round even. So those dudes just that type of running back that goes that high, that I like the person, like I like the talent, not some guy that I feel like just got overdrafted. We talked about the hit rates there. It's crazy high. And to your point on like Cam Ward, I was just talking with Brett and some of the guys here. They're like, listen, I love Cam. You know how much shit feels like we've been playing since C2C. We've had Cam sprinkled in all these leagues, right? Love seeing but I don't think he's actually at this point a lock to go super high. I would like to see it. I think it could happen, but just like 22, like we saw some of these quarterbacks that were really way up there in the mocks, and all of a sudden teams end up letting him fall. I'm not saying like he's going to fall, but I still have some questions too on Gene T's athleticism. I don't
what
know
he does
how
at
many
the combine.
Point that out. Yes, like what he does. He's going to be on the smaller side height wise. Like he's a 5'9", 5'10" guy at best. Like
he's probably no matter what they list him at 5'9".
but hypothetically, Adam, I can definitely get on this boat. Let's just say I know it's the Underwear Olympics and it doesn't matter that much, but with the production, even though it was in a shittier conference, because we got to remind ourselves he's playing in the fucking Mountain West, which is it's whatever at this point. He did play Oregon and he did do it to Oregon, but that's really all we've seen in the last couple of years against big time competition.
Sure.
And he's in an offensive system that is completely built around him. Like it's just him. Their quarterback's fucking terrible. I can't name a single wide receiver on that goddamn team.
Nor
if
should
he
you be
came
able
out
to.
at the combine, let's say he does measure in at 5'9", but he's like 210, 215, and he goes out and he runs in the 4.4s, somewhere in that range. Yeah. I think then we can have that discussion again with how like the talent matches up about the 101. I still have those concerns because if he's If he's 205 and he goes and runs a 4.6 and he played against the Mountain West and he just looks fast on fucking film, but he's playing against, future insurance salesmen. Okay, like we've.
Can I?
I love Rasheen Ali, but like he did the same kind of shit and had crazy production at fucking Marshall 2 years ago, and where is he now?
Can I give you a little poop in your Reese Puffs right now?
Sure, shit in him.
I think right now with where he's tracking, this guy might say fuck the combine.
Oh yeah, he definitely could.
I think he's going to say fuck the combine. What does he have to gain? Like, it sucks. It really sucks for us because we would love to know. But
so let's fast forward though. Gene T hits all the markers you want, right?
Yeah.
What he hits them? Let's just assume he hits them.
Okay.
Caleb Johnson goes out at the combine, measures in at 6 foot 225,
and kills it.
Runs
yeah.
And runs a 4.3 with his production profile in the Big Ten.
Right.
And like people are talking about him being a top 20, top 15 NFL draft pick.
Yeah, I think he would make it like interesting where he would go up high as well. I don't know that I would push Genty down for me all that much, other than like, for example, if you tell me he's locked in again, Gibbs is a perfect example, actually, when you think of 23, right? Bijan was the one. They're like, he's going to go early as hell. Like, early as hell. But Gibbs was supposed to maybe sneak into the first round, right? Mm-hmm. Gibbs goes fucking, you saw what Campbell and these guys, they're going crazy. As crazy as I've ever seen anyone go for a draft pick. And they went really. So if Caleb Johnson hits all those, goes like top 15, like you're saying, oh, shit, buddy. Like, all of a sudden now you got like a 1-2 punch at the top that's just crazy. The difference really for me is going to be is Caleb. First round running backs hit different. Is he going to be like a very late first round? Is he going to be early second? Or does he get that top 20, 15 draft capital especially? Like, okay, he locks in the top 15, Mike. We get 2 running backs like that, top 15. Man, I'm not even going to fight you if you wanted Caleb really high too. But I just wouldn't knock GNT for that either though. Like,
I get you too. I think the other thing for me is the quarterbacks, because if you asked me before the season, you and I talked about, man, this quarterback class is kind of like it's kind of whatever. I will say Shedeur and Cam Ward have come out and done nothing less than what was expected of them, and I think they both exceeded expectations. Where
I would say they definitely have.
It's not like the Malik Willis, Kenny Pickett class for me, where I'm like, I can definitely see both these guys being top 10 selections. Like, outside of those two, I have no fucking idea. Like, I don't know if you're going to get one. I don't know if you do. So if you tell me, like, man, Mike, there's 2 guys that are locked in top 10 NFL selections, one of them to the Raiders, which I see in mock drafts. I think it was Cam for Brugler on his mock draft at number 2, and then Shedeur or whatever the fuck it is. I'm telling you, like, if you're telling me these dudes are fucking locks, this isn't the Malik Willis. We think maybe he goes in the first, whatever.
Well, that's why for me right now, like, there's nothing that can happen, at least for the next few months, 2 months is for sure, that that solidifies that they're going to go early. Now, if you tell me those guys are going early, like top 5, it's a lock. We can have a different conversation. I will have a different conversation. For me right now, I'm just not quite buying that they're 100% locked into that type of draft capital. I think Shedeur probably will be, and I think he, for me, is a quarterback that I would love to have. I don't know that I want to have him over a running back that has this type of value. Now, Cam Ward is a totally different combo for me.
Here's the other problem I have with, if you, like you say, 101. Normally, in most situations, it's a bad team. Like, you got the 101 because you fucking earned it. I'm
sure.
not saying you couldn't have traded with somebody else and you were a playoff team and you got somebody. What? That's a different conversation.
That part's a process, different conversation for sure.
Even if Gene T is everything that you fucking want and he hits in every single way, he hits like Bijan Robinson.
Yeah.
How much does that do to actually change your future, your fortunes, as the 101 team? And I say it's not enough. Like, what you can trade Bijan when he's smashing for right fucking now versus what you can trade if you hit on a Malik Neighbors, a Marvin Harrison Jr., Jaden fucking Daniels, what we hoped was going to be the hits in the Anthony Richardson, Bijan Robinson debate that you and I had the whole time. This is one thing where you rubbed off on me, is like, even if I'm fucking right on Bijan and Bijan is everything I want, if Anthony Richardson had come out and fucking smashed, which he didn't even have to, Adam. He had 5 fucking games, and then we saw where he went in startups this offseason.
Right,
and what he was trading for.
For sure. Valid
there
points.
is a massive difference. That is worth 10 times whatever one fucking running back is going to be worth to me.
Well, the one I think all valid points and all reasons that, like, I'm gonna tell you the new wrinkle that is going to be very interesting to see unfold, Mike, is what the resurgence, like what just took place this year. We just talked about with Judy and the wide receiver position as a whole, and what is taking place with the resurgence of the running back. That is going to be the thing for me to kind of monitor. Like there's a world I really believe there's, and this is hard to believe. 365 days ago, you told me this, Mike. I'm like, there's no fucking way. I'm laughing at you. I'm telling you you're a clown. Like, no. What the hell are you talking about? I think there's a world where you could flip G.T. before he even plays for your team in that scenario for something ridiculous. Like, you saw what Bijan was. I'm not saying he's Bijan for the record. I don't think he is for the record. Like, legitimately, this guy is not the talent of Bijan Robinson. Let me actually say that out loud. Like, he's not. I'm sorry. But if someone values him like that, Bijan, actually, I'm curious now. Let's just go to Keith Drake Cup for the sake, because you and I both agree on the point you're making. I'm just kind of curious to see. He's fucking 8 overall in Superflex still. For God's sakes, who? What? There's no way. Is that right? Well, Mike, you were reading me off a bunch of egregious things on the lab. I'll close us out with that. Let's go see what Bijan's been trading for. What kind of fucking hauls? Let's just. I'm just curious now. How is he 8 overall in Dynasty ranks, bro? Someone explain it. He's ahead of Amon-Ra, Burrow, Neighbors, CD.
Good luck.
I mean, listen. I'm not actually saying. I guess that's the point, though, is that with what's happened with the running back position, I think people might be. I think in redraft you're going to start seeing some of the like elite running backs go high again, and I think people might be willing to chase what they think is the outlier type of running back. You know what I mean? Yeah, I think this is another point too. Like, does Ward and Shadur become the Konami code guys? This is.
I think Cam Ward has that.
I think Ward could be. I'm not sure that it's 100%, but I think it could be. Shador, I'm really not sure that. I don't.
Listen,
I'm
Cam
not
Ward
say Konami.
is definitely not Jaden Daniels or Lamar Jackson.
God, no.
If you want to talk like Konami ability, though, like what I see from him sometimes, he could have the Bo Nix.
Bo Nix is the perfect comp, and we'll see what happens we'll see if he actually lives up to the 40, which I'd be kind of surprised of when Penix eventually gets in too, right?
When Cam Ward goes out and runs, he's very effective with it. He has the size, he has the ability to do it. It also could be like kind of like a Drake May situation, where when you get into a shittier spot and you have to run, you go and you run. And it's probably going to be that in the NFL where it's like, damn, I didn't know Cam Ward moved like that. But
yeah, the one thing, both of these guys, though, to your point earlier, that's I guess another reason why this is not a bad point. It's more so like I agree that they could offer some rushing, but neither one of these guys jumps off the page as the Jaden Daniels type, the A-Rich type. Like if you told me that one of these guys was going to be something like that, Mike, I think you and I are not even – well, you already aren't. I'm definitely not arguing for GT at 101 then.
Here's the other thing about Cam Ward that I kind of point out. We didn't know Justin Fields could run like he could until he got to the NFL, and he fucking had to. Like, he really had to.
That's fair. I do feel like we knew Justin Fields was faster than Cam's going to be, though, right? Yeah, come on, my guy. Fields was a blazer.
He was – I don't know, man.
Come on.
I never thought of Fields as like fast until he got to the NFL.
Really? Okay.
I honestly.
I'm also an Ohio State guy. And I know you have there might have been a little bias tint in there where you maybe didn't think he was that fast.
That's true.
I mean,
that's true.
I always thought he was like a crazy athlete, but
well, I mean, in your defense, everybody at Ohio State's looked slow in that uniform since Ted Ginn.
That's
like
fair.
He set the bar so high and then just ruined it for everybody else.
That is true. But I mean, the Cam, for example, like I don't know. For example, with Justin Fields, you could go back to the Spark and see like when he was coming out. But even if you didn't think he was that fast, you could see like, holy shit. This guy in high school, this guy was running, sub 4.5. I think Cam, everything I've seen on him is like, the guy's going to be more like a 4, projection-wise, 4.8-ish, 4.7-ish, right? So I'm not saying he's a bad athlete. I'm just saying that he's
maybe more Stroud.
Yes, right. He's not a guy that's going to take off and give you, like to your point with Fields or A. Rich or.
I say all that to say that I definitely know Shedeur can move when he wants to, but it looks slow when he does it. Right.
Yeah.
Like
the other thing about him is, I think Cam. One difference here, like I think Cam. Is looking a little more to like Shedeur. I think by the way he plays, like running is the last thing he wants to do. Like that's the thing for. It's not necessarily even that he couldn't. I don't think that he's going to be a super, great runner anyway. But I feel like he's a guy that would so much rather C.J. Stroud like just throw it in the pocket. He wants to be in the pocket if all possible. Where Ward, I think like he put some he's going to get out and run that thing.
Yeah, I don't think that's crazy. Neither one of these guys I don't think are like super Konami ones. If you wanted to go like the super off-the-wall Konami one, and the last couple games haven't been the greatest for this guy, but Jalen Milroe. Like,
oh, well, Milroe's a project, but dude, buddy, yeah, if he ends up getting first-round draft capital, like high one, I mean, shit, like we're gonna have some
if he goes anywhere in the first round, like I'm gonna do stupid shit.
Even if someone trades back into the 32nd pick, I mean, look what happened to Lamar. Hello,
Yeah, hello. Like that is something that you do stupid things for. But
for sure,
I don't think either one of them are that great. And this is all without saying that I think Ted McMillan is one hell of a wide receiver prospect.
Now that's the other thing. He
doesn't get the love because he's in fucking Arizona. And
he's starting to. I feel like he's starting to, and I think to your point, like if I was going to pivot away from, personally with what I know today, if I was going to be pivoting away from G&T, it would be for Ted. Like that one, because I think there's just outside of a narrative, there's nothing about Ted that I'm, like, Ted's the guy I'm excited to have as many fucking Ted McMillan shares as I possibly. Like, I'm about to be.
And Travis Hunter is a fantastic cornerback. He's also an amazing wide receiver.
Where do you think he's going to play?
I've said this for like a year and a half, and some people are calling me crazy, but I think there's a realistic opportunity and a realistic possibility that come by like combine time, we start to get the rumblings that Travis Hunter just wants to be a wide receiver in the NFL.
Well, I mean, the money talks on to a specific money talks to receivers.
That is my big point. He can be absolutely elite at either position. But a lot of people say he's a better corner than he is a wide receiver, even though if you go and you look at his wide receiver production from this year and the plays that he's making and you actually watch some of the film on him, you go, holy shit, like this guy could be a top wide receiver prospect. He just has that elite burst and movement skill that you just don't fucking see, and that body control and the ability to make spectacular catches. I think if he decided and he told teams and we got some clarity, which may or may not happen, and probably more on the probably not going to happen, if you got more clarity on it and Travis Hunter was like, I'm going to be a wide receiver full-time in the NFL, he's a top 5 fucking pick in the NFL draft. And he's the number 1 wide receiver in this class.
Damn.
Bar none.
I don't know. Like, I personally don't know. That's what's so interesting about Hunter to me, actually, is like, it feels like he's partly propped up into a different tier because of the endless possibilities. But if you told me like straight up 1-for-1 him or McMillan, like I'm not going to fight you if you took one side or the other. But like I would also be on the defending side. Like he's not just dwarf. No, like he's not tiers above or is not that different for me. I guess that's what's kind of interesting about Hunter is like if you told me right now he was 100% locked in, this is what I'm going to do. He's receiver. Could he go ahead of Tet? Sure, but like. I could also see a world where someone values Ted ahead. Like, look at Neighbors and Marv this year, right? Like, Marv went ahead, but the Giants they've got a lot of things wrong. But they said, listen, we're taking Marv, right?
I get you.
I mean, Malik.
Tet definitely gets the shine because
Tet's legit.
6'4", 6'5", pretty easily.
He's so legit, bro.
He looks like Drake London out there. but with a little bit more polish.
With a little more giddy up. Yeah, I like that.
A little more giddy up. You know, a little more lamb But here's the crazy thing about Travis Hunter that I just got to point out. Right, this is a guy who's playing both fucking ways. People have always looked at him as a corner, and he kind of gravitated, especially starting last year, to like being in the limelight of like, oh, he can actually play wide receiver, and this isn't just a fucking gimmick. This isn't Patrick Peterson at LSU playing wide receiver in his spare time, or
Chris Gamble.
Patrick Peterson. This isn't like a Chris Gamble thing. This is fucking legitimate, and he's playing it at a level where we're like opening eyes. He did it so well this year, and like he's been such the talking point, and Colorado's had such success that people are just ignoring the fact that Travis Hunter, if you just looked at him as a wide receiver in the Big 12, a power fucking 4 conference, putting himself in the college football playoff mix at one point, 92 for 1,200 yards and 14 fucking touchdowns as a wide receiver.
Sure.
Like that's a fucking stat line where you got to go, and this dude's playing all the snaps on defense? Yeah. Like, the man's out here playing every fucking snap he could possibly fucking play and still cooking cats on offense. Just there's nothing you can do with him.
For sure. I mean,
you just can't.
I mean, listen, I'm not telling you that like he's not a legit receiver. I'm just here to say, like, I'm not giving him the throne just because he plays on the other side. Like, I get it, but Tet doesn't play defense. Okay, well, Tet can cook your ass. Speaking of which, Mike, let's not forget exactly right who he did cook. And 84, 13, 19, 8 tutties. You know, in Arizona, let's like come on, like. I'm not telling you can't even take Hunter. I just think right now for me, Ted has done everything that he has been asked to and more to like drive home. You know, a lot of people I think at this point are a little more fearful of the old archetype 6'4", 200, right? There's something. He's doing everything in his power to make sure like, no. This, I'm not one of those guys. I'm legit. He can do it all, honestly.
I just say, for me, just for the original question, though, GT 101 lock is not a foregone conclusion. One, because the quarterbacks are decent enough. The wide receivers that we just talked about are really good. And just the overall strategy of, like, what an RB realistically could get. I know what Keep Trade Cut says, but also, you know, go try to trade fucking Bijan straight up for Joe Burrow at this point in your Superflex leagues and tell me how many times that gets fucking done. I've been down this road when I tried to trade all my neighbors for Jaden Daniels after a couple weeks. Like it doesn't fucking happen. It doesn't.
Yeah, I mean there was a window in time. There was definitely a window in time where you couldn't do the other. But over the long period of time, if Daniels, like he has, stayed in that elite tier, you're not going to make that pivot one for one to get rid of the quarterback, right? So like early on when neighbors was smashing and people weren't as sure of Jaden, you probably could. But once we get to the point where Jaden solidified himself in the top 4 or 5, like those typically in Superflex are just not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. Like even if you were to draft, let's say you go into startup and you say, I want Malik, in a trade after the fact, people just typically are not going to send away their top 5 quarterback for the receiver, no matter who it is. Like it's just not how it works, especially the ones that have the rushing upside like he does too. So
yeah. Hey, and as an obligatory Iowa fan wearing the Iowa hat, GT might not even be the best running back in this class.
He might not. But what I know today right now, he is the 101 for me. So if you ask me to answer a complete answer with incomplete information, that, my friend, is the 101. And it's GT. And I feel like what's crazy is actually if you look at, speaking of our good friends at Keep Trade Cut, devy rankings, right? You take out. That's the only way you can do it. You got to go devy and take out the other classes. Mike, it's going to be Tet and Ginty, and then we got Cam Ward isn't too far off, but yeah, it's interesting. It's kind of interesting to see that there's like a teardrop from right now, and I think it actually speaks to probably like if you if we, like you were saying earlier, we both agree on this. If we solidified them as top 5 picks for sure, and we know that's going to happen, they probably go in the same tier. I think that's what's holding me back right now, and why I still say Gene T, because I'm really curious too, Mike. Like, this is one of the things on the bingo card no one saw. The running back resurgence is kind of hard to even think about right now. Like, I don't even think it's going to really settle in until the offseason when people go crazy, and no one will trade Barkley no matter what in the offseason, right? Like,
just a bonus out there. You're talking about devy rankings. And DB, if DB watches us back, because he's probably in bed, he's a busy man during the holiday season.
Yeah,
he can definitely tell you there is absolutely nobody in this fucking class I would take straight up 1-for-1 for devy ranking wise, Jeremiah Smith or my Ryan Williams. You can lick my balls. You're not like, those might be the two most untouchable fucking devy assets, even though Keep Trade Cut does not reflect that. Adam,
Jeremiah Smith is a lick my balls 101. Yeah, I'm with you.
The tough time I have is separated between him and Ryan Williams. Like, which one do you like more? It just depends on who just scored the touchdown last.
You're not wrong, but I will tell you, for me, it's the jersey. It's the
OSU.
I'm a scout. I'm gonna do a little helmet scouting for that one on the tiebreaker. All right, sorry, not sorry.
Fucking ridiculous.
We are at 2+ hours. It's what we do at this point. It's a lock. As much as Gene T's a lock for 101, 2+ hours from us. It's coming, man. Listen, I'd love to keep answering questions, but
I gotta pee.
We gotta stop at some point. I have to piss. Mike has to piss. I know he has to piss. We'll see you back here, same time, same place, for Playoff Talk official. Right of the thing. Peace.